Hi everyone, this is Audrey with the Creator's Attic. Thank you for joining with me today in looking at our second episode of how to use field guides. This is a series that I've been working on, and this is the second episode. So I've made a prototype of what we're going to be doing today, and I just want to tell you, if you're new to journaling, junk journaling, or making things like that, or using scrapbooking or whatever, these gardening books, the field guides, whatever, you can get these at your local thrift stores. This one I got at Goodwill, and I believe it was $2.49, but it was red, so I believe that meant it was half price. So I got it for around $1.25 with tax. So this is considered a vintage book, but it is not very old. So it has some amazingly beautiful photos in here. I'll just see if I can get it a little closer. You can see these beautiful, and it's just full of them. I mean, the whole book is just full of these beautiful pictures of flowers and the information on them, where they grow, how to grow them, related species, the the scientific name for them. And this is how I wanted to show you the prototype that I made. So this would be wonderful. Let's see if I can zoom you in a little bit. Okay, this is a little booklet that I made. It's very simple to make. It's very easy. It cost hardly anything to make it. I mean, this probably cost me maybe less than probably 3 cents to make this. Maybe at the most a nickel, okay? This is beautiful. What I've done is I've taken a picture out of my book, and I have punched it out and framed it. I'll show you how I did this, but this basically just entails having something. Let me back up. Okay, this basically includes just having something as simple as a field guide, some glue, and 2 index cards. And then if you have other stuff to jazz it up, good for you. I did mine in a very simple way, the prototype first of all, because I just wanted to get the basic concept out there to you. Now, what I did was let me show you what it does. Okay, first of all, it has the picture of the flower and the name of it. So this is some beautiful purple wisteria. And then you open up the first part of the card, and I have the scientific name and the zone in the U.S. where it grows, and then a little bit about the wisteria. Now, as it opens up, I have included all of the information here that was in the columns here. I've just cut it up. I've just stenciled on my white cardstock. This is 4x6 cardstock, and it takes two sheets. And basically, I have just used a gold pen or a jelly roll pen, and just gone around this just to jazz it up a little bit, and just did some stenciling in the background. I made sure I colored the back. And this is a lovely journal tuck-in you can clip it onto a page. You can put it in a pocket. You can put it in a side tuck. There are so many things. And these are really nice as standalones. Basically, I just used some extra trim pieces that I had to decorate it, and basically it's just made up of field guide, some scraps, some glue, and a little ink. So let's go ahead and get started on how to make these. Okay, I have already gone ahead and chosen a flower out of here and cut it up just to save some time. Cut up the parts, and instead of this one, the prototype, I took the card and I just went over it with a brush and some I believe it was Shabby Shutters or something like that, some green distress ink. And I didn't ink along the edges or anything. I just wanted it to be a simple prototype. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I did. And like I said, I went ahead and I cut out the pieces already. So I've cut out the picture, I've cut out the name, and I've just kind of laid it in order over here to the side. Okay. But for this one, I'm going to use some coffee dye index cards because I don't want to have to put you through the process of watching me color an entire piece of white index card. But you don't have to color the index cards, or you can just ink around the edge of a white card. It doesn't matter. There's tons of different ways you can do these. These are wonderful. So I have taken two 4x6 index cards, and one of them, if you can see here, I've cut a little bit off of the end because the way that this unfolds, I don't want it, see how this is here? I didn't want to quite back up and me not be able to close my book, because if not, it will bow open a little bit like this. And if you forget to do that, you can always use a little tiny paper clip or something to keep it closed. But I just trimmed mine a little bit, and now I'm going to show you what I did. And I'm hoping I'm going to get this correct on my first go, especially since I'm using my index cards. Okay, so what I did was, let me sit back down. I took the index cards and I folded them over. I matched the corners, and you can just take a bone folder, or honestly, I just used my nails, but I'm just going to use a bone folder for this. And then I'm going to take my other one and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to fold it over in two. And I'm going to show you how I get the little flip out look. So it's kind of a way that I could read the entire description was just by turning it this way. Now I could have put the picture this way, and I put this stuff here, but with it, so when you open it up, you get more of, you can immediately read in this direction instead of turning it. But I didn't do that because this allowed for me to have extra room to put decoration and the name. So that's why I did it booklet wise. Okay, now I've forgotten which one of these was longer. Okay. Okay, excuse me, I'm still struggling a little bit with getting over COVID. And thank you for all of the people, my subscribers and friends, who have checked in with me to see how I'm doing. That always makes me feel so good that people actually care and are thinking about me. So I really appreciate that. Thank you all. Okay, so let me show you how I did this. All right. So I'm going to take the one that was shorter, and I'm going to put it to the side. I'm going to take the front cover of this one, and I want to try to get as much in the center as I can. So you can cut this out with a craft knife, or let me move you in a little bit closer. You can cut this out with this window out with a craft knife, but if you have this one is I believe this is a 2-inch, it may be a 2.5-inch, it doesn't say, square punch. But basically I'm going to fold no, that's too close. Okay. All right. Basically, I'm going to take my card. Here's my front. And I'm going to unfold it because I know that I want, that I don't want it to punch through both sides. So I'm going to go all the way back to the back of my, just so I know it's straight. But I know that it will cut crooked like this. It will give me not enough room if I cut it with it back. So I'm just going to pull it out a little bit, and I'm going to just try to keep it straight. Probably would help if all right, let me get back. Okay, probably helps if I would just kind of line up. And let's see if I can get this on the first go round. That's the hardest part, I think, of this whole thing is getting this straight. Did I get it? Okay, yay. Okay, close enough. I may be a little off, a little crooked. Yeah, it's just a little bit. But we're gonna go with it. Okay, so now that I have this done, I'm going to take my index card that I cut a little bit shorter. I'm going to put it here. But before I do that, I'm going to take my picture that I have. So let's see if I can zoom you in. And this is a gorgeous picture. And this is how simple and easy this is. I'm going to take my card. And if you have a glue stick, you can use a glue stick. Or you can use wet white glue, you can use Fabrifix, you can use whatever you want for this. But for this purpose, I tend to gravitate to the least sticky thing that I have, and that is my Scotch Create Permanent Glue Stick. Okay, so I'm going to, this is the inside, remember. I don't want to get any over here. I just want to get around this frame area. And I'm going to make sure I get my edges. And this way too, by using the glue stick, I don't have glue that's gonna smoosh out and get onto my picture. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do this time. I'm not gonna close it all the way because I don't want it to get stuck, but I'm going to figure out exactly, leaving a little bit of room around the edge helps me to make sure that I get this in frame how I want to. And I mean, also it gives me room to adhere it to the inside. So I'm going to kind of figure out how I'm going to do this. Okay, let me see if that's straight. Okay, so we have, let me back up a little bit. Do a little back up noise. Oh, it's not wanting to work. Come on. There we go. All right, so here's what I have. So right now, I have this, and I'm not, okay. Let me make sure. I think it's still a little crooked. With this glue stick, you have a little bit of migration time as well. Okay, here we go. So I have this. This is so pretty, right? Okay, so I have this with the glue on it, and what I'm going to do is I may have to glue it down again, but I may not have to. I am going to make sure that I put this, okay, here's where I have cut, and there's a little bit of an edge here. I want to put it almost to this edge here, and I want to just line the sides up. Am I in frame? Yes, okay. And then I want to put it down, but I want to make sure that I am I'm not going over the edge of my other card. So let's see. Okay, I don't want that to show, so there will be a little bit of room here where I will have extra. Okay, a little bit of room here for the extra, and then I will still have room to fold without it getting in the way. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to put glue back onto, okay, this is the side that I'm going to use like this. La, da, da. Okay, I want you to do this. Okay. So I'm going to put glue on the side half only that I'm going to put over the frame. You could have also put it here if you wanted to, but either way. Now I'm going to put it down here, and I'm going to make sure that I don't I like this glue stick too because it gives you a chance to make a few mistakes before you slide it around a bit. Okay, I want to make sure that this has a little bit of room here, which it should, without this backing up completely into where my fold goes. That way it will not bulk, like I said earlier, upon folding. Okay, so I can't see any hangover here. And I also have, I may need to even back a little bit more off. Let's see. And this glue stick gives you a little bit of time to move. Okay, do you see how I have a little bit of extra room here? Okay, right here. Okay, that's going to keep it from not opening, to not wanting to open properly. Did I just do that upside down? No. Okay. I was like, did I just do something wrong? Okay, so here we go. We have our inside, and it's going to close up. And this, we want to close this one in first because this one's going to be shorter. And voila, we have our basic card already done. Now, the next thing I want to do is decide where I'm going to take my pieces, and I'm going to move them out here. So this would be really pretty if you wanted to use some washi tape to border this as well. There's so many things you can do with this. It's just awesome. Okay, so I'm going to take my title, which is a rose mallow or a swamp mallow, and I'm going to decide how I want to put it on the front. So I think I may just ink around the edges here with a little bit of, maybe a little bit of, I think I have some black ink left on my dauber. So I just want to give it a little bit of a frame. And I think this pretty white backdrop will be really nice. Will be a very nice contrast to these coffee dyed index cards. Now, if you have not seen my video on how to coffee dye index cards and you are curious, it's in the list. Just go in there and look out how to easily dye coffee dye index cards. So easy. They come in for so many things. So handy. Okay, so I think I want to put my title here. And I think I may want to do some inking around the top as well. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. So I'm going to take my glue stick. I'm going to run this across the top. And then I'm just going to put it here in the center below the frame. Now I could have put some ink along here before I could have inked this up, and I probably will wish I had done that. You can, to give it a little bit more definition around the frame if you want, but I didn't do that this time, so whoopsie. Okay, still is very pretty like this. Okay, so here's the name of my flower. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and focus on the inside. We'll come up and beautify the outside. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, if you decide to cut these out, pre-cut these out ahead of time, like I did. And the reason why I broke them up like this was so each would have a little, its own little page to go on. But the reason why I cut them up, just keep them in order. You know, so they don't, it's easy you don't have to sit here and go, oh my goodness, which is this, the other side, blah, blah, blah. Because see, you know, the other side has writing on it. Okay, duh. You get the point. Okay. So, for my first one, on the prototype, I had taken and put, it said a little bit of something about this under the scientific name in the zone. And I had done it this way. This one, I think I'm going to choose to do it this way. So you'll go ahead and turn it so it'll be the same direction as when you open up the card. Now, this is so simple to just add so much beauty to a card by a simple stencil. So I'm keeping these in order, and I want to go ahead and stencil because I don't want to get any glue on the inside where I want to stencil, because then the ink won't want to adhere. So I have just a stencil, just a random stencil, and I'm going to go up just a little tiny bit and make sure I kind of straighten it up on my grid lines here. Let's see if I can, there you go, you can see that. Okay, and just kind of get it somewhere in the center. This one may not have been a great choice because I'm going to have to be super precise with this. The other one was just kind of an abstract stencil that just, I would say, were just to blend in just together. But okay, I already have this one out, so this is the one I'm doing. Okay, so it is upside down, but I don't think it really matters. I just realized that. Okay, for this stencil. Okay, I have a gorgeous pink flower on the outside. So what I'm going to do is I think I want to celebrate that on the inside as well. So I'm just going to go a little bit above and then grab an ink. I think I'm going to go with, I don't want to pick this up. I wanted to look at my flower again, but I'm afraid to go look again. Okay, let's do this one a little bit more colorful. These by the way, would be great for nature journals, botanical journals, spring journals, informational journals, anything like that. Be wonderful. Okay, I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to rub it around. And these little paddle brushes are really easy. You can find them on Amazon. They're almost like little makeup brushes. They come in different sizes. They're pretty cheap too. Okay, I'm going to try not to mess this up, so I'm going to hold it down. I'm just going to lightly stencil over my area, and then I'm going to swap. This is the thing is to keep from getting, I've tried to tape it down with washi, tried so many different things to keep my stencil still, and I think pretty much just holding on to it has become what I decided was the best method. So I'm going to just look and make sure that I have my stencil pretty much everywhere, and I'm just going to slide it down, trying to keep it kind of in the middle. Actually, I'm going to just slide it on down to where, oh, that's so pretty, see how that came out? Slide it down to about where I stopped and just go a little bit above that. And I'm not exactly, I can kind of tell where I was because I only got that part of the stencil, so hopefully that'll help me here. I got the center of the stencil, so maybe it'll be a little bit of a guide. I'm going to just go back and just do this. There's no like science to doing this. It's just how I prefer to do it. Okay. So now I'm going to take this off. Okay. That was not quite. That is not quite as showing up as prominently as the other one. I didn't have as much ink on my brush, I don't guess. So, I'm using picked raspberry for this. Let me see if I can go back and kind of find where I was. Match these little dots up. Come on, match up little dots. Okay, where are you? Let's see. I might have to get in your way for a second to get in your view, just to kind of find where I was. For those of you who are not very perfectionistic, this probably wouldn't bother you at all, but I'm kind of a perfectionist and it's driving me nuts. You just kind of have to pick and choose your battles with these things. So I'm just wondering if I should, I'm not seeming to be able to match up like where I had it before, so I may just leave it like that. I'm just afraid I'm going to make it worse. So I think I can't quite, that is driving me nuts. I really want to put this down. Maybe if I don't see any marks on here. I'll have gotten it in the right place. If I don't see any ink marks, then maybe that means that I will be getting it. I'm sorry, if I can line up all the pink parts, maybe that'll show me kind of where I was. And I can try it again. It's probably not, I'm probably going to mess it up more than I'm going to make it look better, but I just can't stand not having things the way that I wanted them to go. So let's see, let me move up here, try to match this up just a little bit. Okay, if I can get this, I'm just gonna go for it. If it's not perfect, I'm just gonna have to deal with it. Things aren't always perfect. And I have had to try to tell myself this so many times because I want to I really want to okay, I really just want to do things over sometimes. It's probably not going to look as good, but I'm just going to do it. And I just slid my stencil too, so. Okay, that's it. Okay, it didn't look too messed up, but that's what we have. Okay, now you can choose to ink around the edges if you want, maybe in a different color. I think I'm going to go and try a Gathered Twigs Distress ink, just one of my favorites. I actually had to change my top on my dauber. It was literally, pieces of it were coming apart when I was inking things, so I had to get a new one, put a new one on there. Okay, so I'm just going to ink along the edges just to frame it in a little bit. You don't have to do this. I didn't do this on the other one. And I'm just going to, I just want to kind of add a little bit of age to this. And, you know, stencils are great. They're inexpensive backgrounds. If you want to add a little interest to something that may otherwise be a little bit bland. And I think these ornate stencils, this stencil look kind of adds to the elegance of the flower. And just to the elegance of the whole little booklet. Okay. So you can ink inside if you want, like do the folded edges, but I'm not going to do that on this one. Okay, so here I have this. Now I still have this little piece right here. So I think I'm just going to lay down my stencil. Again, try to kind of center it. Oh, I put my cap back on. Okay, gonna try this. Let's see, I'm just gonna let it go and just completely do this. Okay, going back. Line up along the grids. You don't have to be this fussy with it, just fussy. Okay, so I don't want it to go over there, so I'm gonna cover that with my stencil. Okay. I'm just going to, I just want to add a little bit of interest to this page too, and I'm moving my stencil. Stop. Okay. Telling myself to stop. Okay, good enough. Here we go. So we have this, and so we have, so far, we have our cover, and then we have our inside, and then our inside, and this will be the back. Okay. Before I put any more glue on there, I'm going to decide if I want to do anything around the edges. And I think I do want to do a little something around the edge of this. Maybe, I did brown on the inside. I could do a brown, my same brown, my Gathered Twigs. Just go around the edge. And I'm just going to do the front and the back because I've already done the inside. I may do a little bit along the edge here for some definition. Okay, this one did not get inked, so I'm gonna ink it as well. I try to hurry. I don't want to prolong this video too long. This is just a simple concept. So I'm not going to go super fancy dancy. This one I went around borders and stuff with gold pens and stuff, but this one I'm just going to try to do a general one. Okay, so I have this, and I'm going to open it up as if it would be, make sure that this is like a one-end. Okay, I have this. And the first part that I want to put on is my scientific name. This also shows the zones up here. You can take that off if you don't want to, if you don't want it up there, but I'm going to leave it on, and I'm just going to brown. I may just, where's my black? Okay, here we go. Just going to kind of black, do some little black around the edges, and now I need to cut my zone off. I went way too far in. Okay, I'm going to cut my zone indicator off because I just totally way over inked on the top, trying to hurry. Okay, and I don't need all this white space over here. Okay, so now I have this, and and I also have a little bit about the plant here as well. Okay, it's not quite straight here, and you can go back and do a little bit of cutting if you want to try to straighten it out, but inking is a great way to hide if you haven't quite gotten things straight. Also going around it in a frame. Okay, I'm going to just barely run along the edges, try not to get carried away, and just kind of do a black frame. It just basically kind of directs my eye into the description of the plant and gives a little border. I'm going to do the same up here. I'm going to try not to ink like crazy like I did on my other one. And this is black soot I'm using. I could have used my brown if I'd wanted to, but okay, so here we go. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to get my glue stick. I'm going to put this somewhere about in the middle where I want it. Put it down. I have a minute to slide it. Ink this up here. Okay. I forgot about that. Okay, and then I'm going to take it says, this Native American genus contains many plants including roselle, and then it has some more Latin-y sounding names outside of it. So let's see, it also talks about a drink that Mussolini wanted the Italians to drink is made of this hibiscus, which is Latin for marshmallow. Okay, very interesting. So I have some information on it. I kind of get that in the center like I want it. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the others. I'm going to do my description, and I don't think I'm going to go around this one in the black because I think I'm going to do a little something else with these instead of just inking around the edges. I think I'm going to add a little bit something more. So, okay, so I need to make sure I have all of this. For a minute, I thought I was doing the wrong side. Okay, so the description, I'm going to put it up here. So I have my description, and it says ease of care is easy. I'm just going to kind of keep these lined up. This is how to grow. So I don't have my magazine, and I don't want to get the time of digging it back out and all that stuff. I'm just going to try to do it like this without making it a disaster. Okay, so I am going to put this one down. Oh, looks like I got a little bit of ink on it from my fingers probably. Okay, I'm going to kind of line it up with this one. You can do it however you want. And let's see how that's not quite crooked. I'm going to, not straight, I'm going to go around it. And I'm going to fix that right on up. Okay, so now I am doing my bottom. And you don't have to do it exactly like this. Maybe your field guide that you have will not have as much information. You may not choose to do this on the inside. You may just want to put the name of it and put some writing space. I mean, there's so many things you can do with this. Okay, so here's what I have. Now, there's the back. So, and I know this is plain, so I know that's the back. Now, this really needs something else. So let's talk about a little bit of, you see this isn't quite straight. Let's talk a little bit about what we can do to the cover first of all. And then if we have time, we'll go back. What am I at? Oh, my battery is telling me My battery is running on the phone and we're already at over half an hour. Okay, so let's just do something to the front quickly, and then we will, I can finish it. You can figure out how you want to decorate yours. But let's just do the front together. I'm going to, let's see, I have these wonderful jelly roll pens, and I'm just looking to see what colors I have. This looks like a pink. This is Sakura jelly roll pen. You can get these, it's made out of Sakura in Japan. It's a jelly roll pen. Let me see if that's going to overpower. No, I don't think it will. Okay, I'm just going to kind of go around the edges of my, let me see if I can get you in. This one can be kind of tedious, and let's see, get you in. There we go. All right, I'm going to just kind of go around the frame, and it has a nice little metallic sheen to it. Oh, I'm going to do that. It's kind of going around the edges. And you don't have to push too hard with these jelly roll pens. They will pretty much kind of, once you press them to the surface, it will just kind of start coming out. And they make these in metallic. They make them in metallic with glitter. They make them in white ink, so you can mark on black surfaces or darker surfaces. There's just so many different things you can do with these pens. I just love mine because they just add a little extra. See how it just adds just a little bit of an extra border to this? And I can go around, and I could also could go around the edges of my book if I wanted to with this. I could try to go around my frame, but I should have done that before I did this with it. But let's go ahead and decorate the front of this really fast with something. I have my little container of scraps. This is a great time to use up scraps. You could also use cardstock on this. Come out. Okay, use cardstock on this. That would be nice also. Okay, I kind of just put a little piece of lace across the top, and I think this white lace really pops out against, ooh, that's very pretty. I love that. Okay, I'm going to just put that down. It's a great time to use up those scraps. I'm going to use a little bit of my Fabrifix. It's clear silicone glue, fabric to fabric, paper to paper. It does them all together. Just whatever, fabric to fabric, fabric to paper, and paper to paper. There we go. All right, I'm going to just put a little bit down, and I think that piece had pretty much covered the whole top. So just make sure you're in frame. There we go. Okay. And just put some down because I do want it to stay. And then just to keep it from oozing through, I'm just going to kind of use my finger just to kind of smear it down a little bit. Make sure I've got the correct side. Okay. And I'm just going to put it down. Doesn't that add just such an elegant, doesn't that add just such an elegant, I have been tongue-tied all day, elegant border. It really does. I just love it. I'm going to come around to the back so I can see where I end and my card begins. Okay. Cut this. And we have this already. This is very pretty, just like this. We could do more to it if we want to. I could enhance the borders around here with a little bit more wider stroke, or by doing a little bit more. I don't want to get too fast with these, because then I'll get all out of line. I do that all the time. I get jelly rolling happy, and I just roll on into a catastrophe. So yeah, I'm going to try to be better. I'm trying to just feel this edge a little bit so I can see if I can get you in a little bit. Yeah, just kind of fill this edge a little bit. Okay? And I just want to really bring out, just add a little bit more pink. And now that, see how that pretty dot is? So basically, I could do more than this if I wanted to, but we have our basic book, and that's what I wanted to show you, was how we can just take such a simple concept as a field guide and make it into something beautiful. So here's what we have, and I will probably go around these in maybe a gold or something, since I already have pink. But the rest of these, but here we go. We have the description, and then inside we have our information, and we can close our card up. And there we have a little booklet, and they're very thin, see? Even with the trim, it's very thin to just tuck in a book. Oh, did somebody say they wanted to do a little closure? Okay, let's say that you want to, this is very, very quick. If you want to go and make a little cute thing to clip this onto something, this is I'm going to just do a little quick idea. I'm going to Tim Holtz has these really tiny little, I have to keep them, copper mini clips. And they're just so tiny, but they are, see how tiny they are? But they are very cute for things like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that. Let me grab over here and see what I have. For those of you who are hollering at me to hurry up, I'm trying my best. This may be a little bit too wide. I tell you what, I'm going to just grab some embroidery thread, and I'm just going to grab some pink and maybe a little bit of green. Man, that may be too much. I'm just going to use a little bit of pink. Oh, that green's pretty. Okay, and maybe this green. Okay, and add some more color to this. All right, so all I'm gonna do really fast is take some of my string. This just adds a lovely little touch to different projects. Simple little, just to jazz up a paper clip or whatever, but I'm going to just cut them at around even lengths. I'm going to fold them over here. I think I can get one more fold out of it. Okay, hold it like this. And I'm going to put my finger in the middle of the loop. Okay. Then I'm going to make sure that I do the big end. Wait a minute, let me make sure. Whatever is the opposite end of what I'm going to put in here. Okay. Let me double check. You kind of sometimes you have to double check these things, even if you think you know. Okay, I need to do it out here on this very outside. So I'm just going to, doesn't matter which way I go through, I'm just going to go through. I've still got my loop. I'm just going to put all of these through all of those. I hope you can see this. And, oh, come on. Nope. No. There's one that wants to be rebellious. Okay, we are not having that, mister. No, we are not. We're going to try this again, and you're going to do it the right way. There, you're going to do it correctly. Go through. Find the loop. Go through here. Everybody go through, please, this time. Awesome sauce. Okay, and then we have this. And if we just want to make sure that this stays nice and tight on our clip, I'm just going to take a little Fabrifix. I'm going to flip it over to the back and just put a little bit of Fabrifix there. And hold it, kind of hold it and mold it. Molly coddle it a minute. There you go. Be all nice. stay. Okay, then I'm going to just clip off the ends. Okay, and I have a cute, you could put a dangle from here if you wanted, but I have a cute little embellishment that I can use to clip on my pages. And so here we go. So let's zoom in and see our two types. So we have the one that we made together, and we have our prototype. So I hope that you've enjoyed this, and you've been inspired to do something that you haven't done before with your field guide and scraps and just index cards, and just a little bit of stuff goes such a long way, and great way just to have a relaxing time and use beautiful flowers in your junk journals. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up like, and if you are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I would love to have you as a subscriber, and it will also, if you click on the bell, that'll subscribe you, and the little bell below next to the title, and it will also give you alerts when you go on YouTube that I have a new video out. So it is a way to kind of keep up with what's going on. So everyone take care and stay warm, and I will talk with you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.